We are scheduled to start by 4:45. We are waiting our speaker and the members of our exchange to join in. Then we will start. I hope the voice is audible.
और भले बॉर्डर होगा लेकिन है झारखंड स्टेट पूरा का पूरा जो है ना कहा।
गुड इवनिंग ऋषि जी।
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग नवीन जी, गुड इवनिंग।
कैसे हो नवीन? प्रमोद मुद्रा।
हाँ,
गुड
कैसे हो
भैया।
नवीन?
वेरी गुड भैया।
बहुत दिन बाद मिलते हो।
हाँ हाँ।
दिख रहे हो मतलब। आजकल काफी स्पीच देते हो, काफी मतलब एज ए स्पीकर तुम अपियर होते हो सेमिनार में।
हाँ, अभी शुरू किया हूँ भैया।
हाँ।
बीच में ऑक्युपाइड हो गए थे काफी, अभी वापस कोशिश कर रहा हूँ जो पैशन है उसको वापस से करने का।
नहीं नहीं, बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया, अच्छा है। कैलकुला में स्पीकर ऐसे भी कम है। वी नीड स्पीकर्स, मोर 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 एंड मोर स्पीकर्स।
लोग की
देखा
गर्मी।
जाए तो वही गुस्से पटे जो है 10 12 स्पीकर है ना, उसी में काम चलाना पड़ता है।
नहीं नहीं, अपकमिंग है सर, हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग इन
मिनिमम
न्यू
20
स्पीकर।
स्पीकर्स ऑन एवरी सब्जेक्ट। देखो जीएसटी में अपने वही है। तुमको 5 7 8 आदमी जिंदगी संग चलता है। इनकम टैक्स में वही है, एस एस गुप्ता जी है, पौलवी पटोदिया जी, रमेश जी,
हम्म।
संजय दा है। बाकी लोग कितने हैं? बहुत कम लोग हैं।
ਤੇਰਾ ਕੱਲਾ ਇਨਕਮ ਟੈਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ
हाँ बोलो। हाँ कोई बुक्स आपके पास नहीं है? मैंने ये जो बोर्ड मीटिंग के बुक्स है टोटली अलग अलग करके तो आप
Re- requesting all to please keep themselves on mute unless unmuted by the coordinator.
रजिस्टर मेरे पास नहीं है। कोई भी पेपर नहीं पता है मुझे तो मैंने ठीक किया दो बुक अलग से अरे हो सकता है कि मेरे पास यहाँ पर रजिस्टर नहीं ऑफिस में होगा, मैं तो ये बोल रहा हूँ मैं।
Naveen ji, you can make others mute.
ऑफिस में देखो, ऑफिस में देखूंगा। हाँ अच्छा डीएड के लिए थोड़ा सा कॉल कर लेता हूँ।
I'm just doing it.
ऑफिस में देखूंगा। अच्छा डीएड के लिए थोड़ा सा कॉल कर लेता हूँ।
I'm just doing it.
ऑफिस में देखूंगा।
few of you are writing that there is no voice. Actually, the meeting has not yet started. So once it is started, you will get to hear the voice of the learner speaker and other members.
The meeting is yet to start, so that's why there is no voice. Once it starts, you will be able to hear it.
ये साजी आया नहीं क्या अभी तक?
Our guest speaker is finding some technical issue in joining, so we are resolving the same, and he's soon going to join.
कब आओगे?
हेलो।
या गुड इवनिंग भूपेंद्र जी, यू कैन ट्राई, आप शेयर कर पाओगे अभी स्क्रीन अपना?
हेलो।
सर आवाज आ रही है आपकी?
यस यस, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आप लोगों को?
थोड़ा सा लोअर स्केल पे है सर, थोड़ा सा।
हेलो।
हाँ, आवाज आ
आ
रही
रही
है
है
पर
सर,
थोड़ा
आ रही
लोअर
है।
स्केल पे है।
आ रही है आवाज ना? हाँ ठीक है।
यस यस।
थोड़ा थोड़ा और तेज होने से सर अच्छा रहेगा।
कैसा है देखो।
हाँ मैं देखा हूँ यार।
कैन यू हियर मी?
यस, आवाज आ रही है सर, थोड़ा तेज रहने से अच्छा रहेगा।
अच्छा ठीक है, अभी तो अभी बेटर है। नाउ इज
मच
बेटर।
मच बेटर सर।
बेटर।
ओके।
So I'll
बोलिए
just
जी।
keep the video recording on, and I'll request our deputy convener Rishi Katorji to
ओके
kindly
श्योर।
share the opening remarks because Girdhari ji has not joined.
So we all are here to listen. We are waiting impatiently to hear the renowned speaker, pan India speaker, CA Bhupender Shah. And there is a lot of curiosity about the new income tax bill 2025 tabled by the Honorable Finance Minister. There are a lot of rumor mongering. There are a lot of coverage also. Whether it is simplified, whether there are issues on refund, whether there are whether it will reduce the litigation, which presently stands at around maybe around 20 lakh crore in the country. So all these things are there, and we are with all open ears
हाँ हाँ
listen to our honorable guest speaker. And before we start, I have the pleasant task of also introducing our guest speaker. CA Bhupender Shah ji is a BCom FCA, and he is in professional practice since 1981-82. He has he also has appeared in ICAI TV on various subjects. He has delivered lectures to DTRTI of Income Tax Department for departmental officers. And I was just counting the number of places where he has given lectures, and it is around 100 different places he has delivered lectures, whether it is in the department, whether it is with corporate, whether it is in UGC series, whether it is in study circle, chambers of commerce, and so on and so forth. Other areas of specialization besides arbitration is also doing tax practice since 1981. He has been into direct taxes, drafting, consultation, appellate work up to CIT and tribunal level, search and seizure matters, family arrangements, etc. He is already on the panel of FRRB of Institute, appointed as resource person on CP of the ICAI, appears before disciplinary committee of ICAI as counsel. He has written articles on the for the journal of the ICAI, as well as for taxman publications, Tax Samachar, Assam, CITC, etc. He has authored a book on CPA material on arbitration for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in 2005 and 6. He is an arbitrator on Bombay Stock Exchange for 6 years, 1998 to 2005. One of his one of his arbitration engagement resulted in a historical award of 109 type pages, which has been upheld right up to the Supreme Court and is now a reported case law. And already on the panel of arbitrators of FICCI, handled most controversial arbitrations of families, firms, CA firms, PSUs, etc. Undergone several courses on arbitration at IMC and other organizations. So, friends, please welcome CA Bhupender Shah. Sir, we have thank you for your time. Thank you for your valuable deliberations, which we are going to hear with all our ears. And let me also inform you that we have listeners today from all over India, and they are longing to hear from you. And over to the coordinator, CA Naveen Khemka, to take it onward with Mr. Shah.
Thank you, Rishi ji.
Welcome, sir. I am Girdhari Sharma. Naveen, you can, sir, चालू करो आप सब. Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, Girdhari ji. The podium is all yours, Bhupender ji. I'll be here with respect to all the coordination with respect to Zoom. So as you wish, sir, whether you will be taking the questions after your deliberations or as during the deliberation, you can intimate me. I'll be unmuting the speakers, or I'll be taking the questions from the chat box as per your convenience. Whatever feels best, sir, we can do accordingly. The podium is all yours, sir. You can start.
Hello.
142 sir already joined, sir. 142.
Hello. Can you hear me
Sir.
properly now?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We can hear
Can
you
you see
properly.
the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Screen is not visible, sir. You have to share it.
One minute.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the screen?
Not yet, sir.
No, sir. See, screen is not available.
No.
We are able to see you, and once you share the screen, we'll be able to see the
Sir, we are
PPT.
seeing
Yeah,
you,
I
sir,
have
not
already
the
shared
screen.
the screen. Can you see?
No, sir. Your screen is
Not
not
yet, sir.
coming. Your face is coming, sir.
Now it is visible.
No, sir. Naveen, थोड़ा coordinate करो ना.
Yeah, the screen has started, sir. The screen has started.
Screen
Now
sharing
it
is
is started, sir. Yes.
Now we can see your
Yes,
screen,
it
sir.
is. Yes, sir.
okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the delay, first of all, due to some technical reasons, and it happens. Just like our direct tax bill is delayed, our seminar is also delayed by 10 minutes. Don't worry. Anyway, so we have gathered today to discuss the provisions of income tax bill. Now this is called income tax bill. So I will be referring to ITB. And old will be Income Tax Act, ITA. Okay. So with this difference in mind, we have to go ahead. Presentation on Income Tax Bill 2025. In the last budget, that is 10 days back, the finance minister had assured that she is going to present income tax bill very soon. And at last, the mystery is out and we have learned so many things. Today, we will discuss very important provisions of the income tax bill, ITB. Now, this is the policy. A king must extract tax from the citizens without any pain, just like honeybee extracts nectar from the flower. And he must act like a florist who plucks the flowers but takes good care of the plant in return. Now, he must not be like a coal miner who destroys the source of his income day by day. Actually, after the budget 25, with this enhancement of limits up to 12 lakhs rupees, 1 lakh crore rupees taxes have been foregone by the government, and that will go into bank, consumption, investment, further GST, and what not. So this is the path of development they are following. Now let us, because the time is little less, let us straightway go to ITB 2025. What was the mandate given to the committee which was writing in ITB 2025? The clear mandate was that it should be written by senior tax official. Now I have to stop here. This ITB is not written by professionals. It is written by IT professionals, internal, that is senior tax officials, commissioner, chief commissioners, and all above level. So there is no external representation at all. So this you have to keep in mind. Now this ITB is kept open for discussion. You can make your free and frank suggestions to the concerned authority, and there will be lots of debate for at least 3 months. Now, what were the objectives? Objectives are very clear, which were given to the draftmen when they were drafting the ITB 2025. Trust first and scrutinize last. Whatever return you file, they are going to accept and they will scrutinize that later on. So trust is the first thing. So many professionals are complaining that their role is getting reduced day by day. So here we have to remember the word trust. If you remove trust, it will become rust. So you have to educate yourself, you have to educate your clients, and the trust which is reposed in you must be fulfilled to the fullest extent. What is the second objective? Minimum government and maximum governance. What does it mean? We have seen that post COVID-19, faceless assessment, faceless appeal, all these procedures have started full-fledged. Now we are in the era of faceless administration. So now, except for the trust, circle, international, search and seizure, and tribunal, everything else, and TDS, everything else is faceless. In Hindi, it is called Nirmukh Akarni Adhikari. Earlier, it was face-to-face, Sanmukh Akarni Adhikari. Let me assure you, before you raise any question through the convener, no policy change was expected because that was not the mandate at all. Now, policy can be decided only by government and not by the draftsman of the act for levy, collection and administration. So many people were asking me that suggestion was made by certain professional bodies that returns of income tax will be combined into husband and wife. No, that is a policy change. Policy change. So that is the levy of the tax which cannot be decided by the draftsman. So no such fundamental changes for levy collection and administration have taken place because that was not the objective of the amended ITB 2025. Now, what was the main objective? Procedural simplification. Only procedural simplification were invited and now they are implemented. So you cannot expect that there is any substantive changes. Many people are asking why there is no change in the capital gain and all these sections. I said that falls under substantive changes and therefore it was not the objective of the draftsman committee. What was the main object? Language simplification. Now, as you all know, that jokingly, what was the joke in the Income Tax Act? That it is like a children's genes. Original genes was never seen. Only benches were being seen. Amendment, 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 provision, provision, and provision. So these all have been almost removed. How they have been removed? By reduction of words. Verbiose reduction has taken place, but without disturbing the meaning. So that was the idea, simplification. What has happened? Regrouping. Just as you write in your balance sheet that the accounts have been regrouped and recast wherever necessary so as to make it comparable. Similar concept has entered ITB. That regrouping have taken place. We will see in a few minutes from now. Exemption, deductions, all have been consolidated. For example, certain exemptions were in 10, certain were in 80. Now all they were scattered. Now they have been rearranged in one section or schedule. Now redundant extra provisions, they have been eliminated and clarity has been increased and proviso and subsections have been introduced to make it more and more clear. So this is the mandate and objects. Before you raise any question, kindly keep this in mind because most of your questions are related to levy and collection of tax, whereas these were concerned only with the procedures. Now let us go further. Ease of compliance. Now you will see in a few months from now that there will be separate rules. Rules will be prescribed. This is only act which is being simplified. Income tax rules have not been so far simplified and separate rules will be prescribed under the ITB 2025. Now legal and technical jargon have been minimized or removed. What has happened? Text. So many calculation parts were there. They have been replaced by tables. Very interestingly, you will see that ITB is full of tables and tables and tables, formulas and formulas and formulas. But at this juncture, let me strike a note of caution. Those who are senior chartered accountants or SSCs would remember that formulas were prescribed under Section 80 HHC in olden days. How many litigations it created, God only knows. On each numerator, denominator, and everywhere, there were interpretations and litigation. But whichever tables and definitions and formulas I have gone through, they are quite simple, understandable, and less prone to litigation. Now, very laudable objective, I would say, one of the best part of ITB is incorporation of taxpayer charter. What are the rights of taxpayer? You must be knowing that in every income tax building, they were hanging this charter. But nobody was following that charter because it had no mandatory force. अभी इसको बिल में ही डाल दिया ITB. It is incorporated. So now if they don't follow, you can write a letter. You can write right to information. Why clause number this of charter is not followed? For example, rectification is not done. So you can write, it is my right to have this done within a reasonable time, and they are bound to dispose of your application. Now, some people have asked me, what will happen to ITA? ITA means Existing Income Tax Act from 1922 to 1961. It is a continuous. It will not go away. It will not go away at all because there is a continuity of the tax proceeding. It will continue. Now, all the exemptions which were there, now they are incorporated in 6 schedules. That we will see as and when we learn schedules. Section 10 of ITA, which had numerous exemptions, have now been separately covered in a Schedule 2 to Schedule 7 of the ITB. And as I told you, new rules are going to be announced and incorporated. Now let us have an overall view. ITA, Income Tax Act, versus ITB, Income Tax Bill. Words in the Income Tax Act have been reduced by 45%. That is really, really laudable and good task the committee has done. Let us see one by one. What is the effective date of Income Tax Act? Is already in force. When will the bill come into force? From 1st April 2026. Now in few minutes we'll see that with effect from 1/4/26, all these confusions of assessment year previous have been abolished, and tax year is the new concept. So this is the actual calendar date effective from 1/4/26. Today we have 298 sections. They have been increased to 536 sections for simplicity, but word count is reduced by 45%. Today we have 13 schedules. Now that has become 16 schedules, and schedules now 1 to 14, now 1 to 16. Pages, today we have 823 pages. They have become 622 pages. Direct, you can see reduction in the words used under the ITB. Now, without wasting much time, let us straightway proceed to discuss the clauses. Now they are called clauses, not sections. Meanings. Clause 2 of ITB combines the meaning of some terms in one place. It is combined in one place. For example, previously these terms were in different places. For example, meaning of accountant. It is chartered accountant. Several places they have used word accountant. No, that is not there. So that is only in one place. For example, convertible foreign exchange, currency, All these have been kept in a common place. So there is no redundancy, duplication at all. Best clause of the ITB is, you must be seeing whether 56 to 7B applies from assessment year 14-15 or previous year 14-15. Every time there were disputes, every time there were litigations, and that is why all the appellate authorities were busy with interpretation. Now previous year is gone. Even equally assessment year is gone. Only one TY, tax year. What is tax year? 12 months starting from first day of April. In fact, there were rumors that government was about to scrap April to March year, and a calendar year might have been introduced to fall in line with MNCs and international year, which is normally calendar year. So that is not correct. That has not been done. Now somebody will ask me, what is the use of financial year? Whether tax year and financial year are same or no? No, not at all. Tax, suppose you have started a new business on 31st March. So your tax year will be comprising of one day. But financial year, wherever it is used, that means it is comprising from 1st day of April to 31st March next year, 12 full months. So this is the interpretation. So don't confuse financial year with the tax year. Tax year means your particular year, and that will happen only when you have new business. Afterwards, you will have 12, or if you discontinue business. For example, you discontinue business on 1st April. So that tax year will be only of one day for you. Okay. So this is the main introduction of clarity and simplification they have done. Is a very, very appreciable step. Now, residential status. Today, Section 6 of ITA provides the condition of stay in India for 60 days or more in the current year does not apply to a citizen of India who lives India for the purpose of employment outside India. Now, lots of confusion were there. For the purpose of employment means what? I am trying to go abroad for the purpose of employment. I don't have a job. Does it mean that I am resident or non-resident or what? So now clarity, simplification. What is the simplification? ITB says for employment outside India. So if you are jobless and you are going out, that will not qualify the exemption of 60 days, etc. So for the purpose of employment has been replaced with for employment outside India. So this is also very, very important. Many people used to go to several countries below the truck, hiding this, that. Now we are reading the paper. They are being deported. So that is not the aim. What is the aim of ITB? For purpose of employment? No. For employment? Yes. So this is in line with international policy of legal immigration. Okay. Now, next, which is very, very important, NPOs, trust and NGOs. Here I will take 2 minutes more. This is very, very serious and epoch-making changes they've made. ITB has introduced new word. What is that? Non-profit organization. Now the word trust is gone. Section 11, 12, 13, they have been taken at the back side, not in the 11, 12, 13. And if anybody is curious, department itself has introduced a navigator. Suppose if you want to check, where is my provision of section 11 gone in ITA to ITB, it will show you immediately go to this section. So that navigation link everybody has got. If somebody has not got, I can give it on the spot. That link is there, you have to click and it will show you the corresponding section. Now, trust word is gone, NGO is gone. Only NPO instead of trust, non-profit organization. Now, ITBE has more than 20 provisions. Very, very serious, 20 provisions for various activities, registration of NPO. Now you must be knowing that 12AB and all these things which you have gone through recently. What a marathon task it was. Now again register. Somebody asked me whether I am liable to register my NPO again. No, not at all. But fresh NPO, yes. So there are provisions for registration of NPO. So application for registration, then computation of total income, taxation of total income, corpus donation, application of income, accumulation of income, implication of the commercial activity, and all this by NPOs, they are in 20 provisions. Okay. Then what are the compliances to be done by the registered NPOs, and what are the consequences of non-compliance by the NPOs? Now, on any violation by the NPOs and approval for deduction, provisions have been clearly drafted. So I take you to the next slide. You know, all words, words and words, I don't like. Simplification table. ITB also has a table. I am also giving you a table. Registration, there are two aspects. Application for registration and switching over to the regimes. Second, income. How tax on income will be levied. Secondly, what is regular income? Thirdly, what is taxable regular income? Fourthly, what is specified income? Fifthly, what is income not to be included in total income? What is corpus donation? What is deemed corpus donation? What is application of income? What is accumulation of income? What is deemed accumulation of income? Third aspect under the NPO is commercial activity. Business undertaking held as the property. So many trusts have got business undertaking. Some, for example, some NPO has got hall which is given on rent. So how that will be considered? Equivalent to 2 into bracket 15 today. What are the commercial activities by a registered NPO? And what are the commercial activities registered NPO with GPU? General Public Utility. Okay. Then fourth is the compliance aspect. What are the books of account to be maintained? What is the audit to be carried out? What is the return of income for these? What are the permitted mode of investment? And fifth and last is specified violation and tax on accredited income and other violation. You can see now 5 chapters are completely simple. Now sixth is approval for donation. That is old ATG. Although not connected with the trust itself, but whenever they accept donations which are deductible under ATG today, that is the 6th chapter for that, and 7th is the interpretation. So this is in a nutshell the NPO's taxation overall view. Actually, if I speak on this particular slide itself, this will take minimum 3 hours. It is such a huge topic. But today we have gathered only for bird's eye view of ITB 2025. Now let us see some head-wise. Is there any change in the heads of income? No. As I warned you earlier, there is no policy decision. Somebody was asking me that why agricultural income is not made taxable. I said that cannot be done by the draftman. That can be done only by the government in the parliamentary budget and not by drafting ITB. So now what are the two amendments in the ITB under the head salary? Number one, no deduction for entertainment allowance to a government employee. So my question is, was it needed to a government employee entertainment allowance? So that is removed. Secondly, so many deductions like standard deduction, gratuity, leave encashment, they are all incorporated under one section. So all multi-cross referencing is gone because somebody is under section 10, some under 17, some under 16. So this is a welcome step that ITBS combine all the deduction and exemptions to them under one portion. So this is related to salary. No other major change. Now I come to the most vital aspect of the ITB, and that is business and professional income. There were 65 sections. Now they've been reduced to 41 clauses. So you see 45% reduction, everything is there. It is definitely a welcome step. Now, presumptive taxation of residents or non-residents are now under two sections. Earlier there were several, now there are only two. General deductions, yes, this is very important. You must have seen so many people and experts debating on this third point. General deduction and notified settlement, they are not expenditure. And therefore, all the companies and business people, they have to take a serious note. For example, they make regulatory settlement, say with labor union or tax authorities or wherever. They are not deductible directly. So what will be the impact? There will be tax impact on that. Secondly, for example, 14A, the items which are not deductible will fall under disallowance under 14A. So several interpretations will now emerge. Now another amendment is that once you have opted for input tax credit in respect of any asset purchased by you, that has to be reduced from the cost of the asset. It is simple that because that definition was not amended. Suppose car, no ITC is allowed. So you can always add that GST portion into the cost of the asset. Okay. Now WDV. WDV is redefined. Now why it is redefined? For asset block. Now because of consequential changes of definition of GST. Now provisions, for example, goodwill related adjustments were there for determining. They have been removed. So that is not allowed only. The depreciation on goodwill is already removed long back. So that related adjustment is now no longer available in WDV. Another section, section 30 and 31. Existing 30 section says that you are allowed revenue expenses incurred for any premises used for business. And 31 provide deduction for repairs, insurance of machinery, plant or furniture. These were really duplication. So now ITB has combined both these sections, and not only that, they have clarified that fair and proportionate deduction when the premises, machinery, plant, furniture are partially used. Suppose some professionally using one room of the house for business purpose. So earlier there were lots of litigation. Now partially used for the business or professional purposes, all these will be allowed partially pro rata, and that you have to prove. So this is a welcome step. Now again, continuing the business and profession, mark to market loss. Mark to market loss is now in the business and profession section itself. Revenue recognition for service contract. for example, long contracts. And there were lots of controversies. So they have been incorporated in the ITB itself. A valuation of inventory at lower of cost or net realizable value that was earlier in the ICDS. Now it has been incorporated directly in the ITB. So you don't have to have long list of ICDS now. I am sure your tax audit report will definitely change because of this, because ICDS will be reduced. Whichever ICDS have come here, they will no longer be a part of your 3CD, forming part of this mark to market, then inventory valuation and contract valuation, etc. Now, another welcome step is that set off of short-term capital loss against business income on the scrapping of business, which is held capital, is already in the ITB itself when section 50 was there earlier. So this is similar to that. Next introduction of simplification is IT, information technology, and company secretary. They have been included in the list of specified profession which were previously notified separately. So why it will help you? For example, if you are doing audit of information technology person or a company secretary, then rule 6F will apply, because rule 6F says that this is for the particular purpose of profession. Then 44 ADA will also apply, presumptive tax for professional. Rest all will fall under 44 AD. Now this is also, now let me remove your doubt. There were lots of rumors that tax audit will be handed over to company secretary, cost accountant, CMA. No, nothing has happened. Again, why? That is a policy decision. In fact, I was reading one social media message where that ICMA and ICAA Institute have stated that with regret they announced that the assurance which was given to them for tax audit has not been fulfilled, but they have forgotten that there is no budget or no policy change, so that whatever assurance which they are claiming cannot be incorporated here. Now, an authorized representative and film artists have been proposed to be removed. Okay. Now, let us go to the next aspect, capital gain and IFOS. As I told you, there are not many changes in capital gain, but Section 47 of Income Tax Act provides a list of transactions not treated as transfer for capital gain. Now, what ITB has done, ITB has proposed to remove extra clauses which were already defunct and dead for the transfer of land in an industrially sick company. Now, that is already incorporated elsewhere, so there is no need. Transferring the cost of demutualization. For example, BSC card, which became corporate. Now that is already over. So demutualization, all these things have been removed. Otherwise, there are no material changes. People were speculating that long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain, everything will change. It cannot change. It was not supposed to change. Okay. Now, income from other sources. There are material changes. What is the material change? 56 to 10. You must be remembering the definition of gift was very, very exhaustive in relation to individual from his lineal ascendant or descendant, because that is exempt. But mother's mother, mother's father, all these things were not included because they were coming from the maternal side. In fact, I am reminded of one case law in which one SSC took gift from mother's mother, that is Nani, which is popularly called. That was held taxable, not exempt. So now they have, because ours is the mother India, so they have shown really mercy to the misinterpretation made by the appellate authorities. And here, not only paternal but maternal, all descendants and ascendants are included. So for example, mother's mother is now covered. Okay. Now another very, very interesting amendment in ITB. Now what has happened is the section 64 of Income Tax Act says that whenever an individual has a substantial interest in a concern and income from concern by way of salary, commission, fees. Suppose I am a professional, I give salary, commission, fees to my wife or minor children. Then it was likely to be clubbed to the spouse or minor children. However, the clubbing provision do not apply if the spouse had a technical or professional qualification. Underline here. Suppose I give salary to my wife who is a CA, then there was no clubbing, even though it was salary, fee, or commission, whatever. But now the income is solely attributable to the application of his technical skill. So these two conditions are cumulative. So what was happening? That spouse has to have technical or professional qualification. Now ITB has totally changed the concept. They have removed the first condition, that include the term qualification in the second. So now, along with the knowledge and experience, thus income could be attributable to the application of technical or professional knowledge, experience, and qualification. However, ITB does not explicitly say that spouse must possess such qualification. So now what is the meaning? That if she or he technical, professional knowledge and experience without even degree. So my red question is, full scale adjustment may prevail, but I don't think that is the actually intended interpretation. We have to wait for a few months whether this is a correct interpretation or not. But the law as it is worded, they have stated what they wanted to say. That for example, somebody has experience of the same profession or business, but no degree. Then there is a question of any clubbing. That is the amendment. But I have a doubt in profession whether that can be interpreted like that. Now let us go further. Deduction, relief, and rates. Deduction and relief. For example, investment and expenditure, which was available under Section 80C of the Income Tax Act. Now it is in the Schedule 15 of the ITB. And this schedule also includes deduction allowable under Section 80CCD. Similarly, bank interest exemption of senior and non-senior citizens were at two places, 80TTA and 80TTB. Now they have been merged into one provision, simplified. They will write there senior so much and non-senior so much. So there is no need of two separate sections. Like Newton had three cats. So three holes are not required. On the big hole, all the cats can pass. Like that it is mentioned here, 80TTA, 80TTB is combined. Now another clarification is tax rate. Domestic companies and resident cooperative societies can opt for alternative tax regime under 115 BAB and 115 BAE, provided that certain satisfy conditions. Now, Section 115 BAB empowers the CBDT to issue guidelines to remove any difficulties in this condition. However, no such power is provided under Section BAB. Why? Because ITB proposes to give powers to CBDT to issue such guidelines for clause 204 BAE. So now that is also covered. Now CBDT can give guidelines for both this section, not one. But no guideline shall be issued after 2 years from 1/4/2026. Why? Why 2 years time limit is there? because you should have a certainty of tax planning. Okay. Now this government wants clarity, certainty, no ambiguity. Now returns. Now ITB does not contain a provision corresponding to 7th provision of Income Tax Act, which specifies the circumstances under which ITR must be filed. 1/6 criteria. I remember earlier, foreign travel, turnover, gross receipt, exceeding threshold limit, etc. Now there is no such provision in the ITB. But at the same time, the board is given the power to specify the condition upon which the return filing will become mandatory. So that will come by way of circular. Lots of power are given to CBDT, and that is not in the proper interest of simplification, because we have seen in the past so many circulars have been issued. For example, under 14A, they have issued the circular as if it is a taxing authority. They have been struck down by the courts. Now the board has been given the powers to seek the details of credit card. This is very, very risky. Now online business have mushroomed like anything, and younger generation is all paying by credit card. So their expenditure exceeding the threshold limit and outgoing, particular principle as a business, etc., will be looked into by the CBDT at their threshold limit. Now, next ITB item, notice of demand. Present section of 156 of Income Tax Act provides that wherever a demand notice is issued to the employee of an eligible startup to pay the tax on perquisite arising from ESOP, he shall be liable to pay the tax within 14 days from the date, inter alia 48 months expire from the end of the assessment year in which ESOPs are collected. So that was a very short period, and lots of objections were raised, and therefore ITB extended the time limit of 48 months to 60 months. That is really good aspect and clarification. Now, assessment. You remember that section 55A and all other sections reference to DVO was having the remark and reference to wealth tax. Now wealth tax is abolished. How can the section have reference to wealth tax? So now they have understood that there is power of valuation officers to estimate the value of is defined in this. So now section 144 C6 of the ITA lists the specific element DRP. Now another amendment that DRP has to give a reasoned order. Every point they have to decide. Today, so many DRPs are passing general order. That is not correct. Now they are supposed to give reasoned order. Now, ITB has stated that instead of listing out specific item to consider, it focuses on the structure and content of the direction. It requires that the direction must be in writing and must take the points of determination, point to point, each and every point. Okay. Now, main chapter starts, reassessment, reopening. In last 4 years, starting from 21 to today, whether it is Ashish Agarwal, whether it is Rajiv Bansal, nobody knows which is the correct law, and writ petition and SLP and whatnot is going on. Still it is going on. Third round is going on. That what is the saving period? So that discussion on Rajiv Bansal judgment itself is a separate topic of 3 hours, which I cannot take here. So I will tell you what are the amendments. Now, explanation to section 147 of the Act provides that the AO can assess or reassess all the income that comes to his notice subsequently to the reopening, even if the procedure prescribed in the section 148 was not followed. Meaning by Suppose he has reopened on the basis of share capital. Then he notices that share premium is also concealed. Then he could have touched, even though 148A was not there. Because once it accepts that share capital is wrong, then he can add whole assessment is open. Now this was not enough. So ITB has gone step further. It has expanded the scope of validating the proceeding even if the notice is not issued under 148 and sanction for the issue not obtained at 151. This is a sweeping change. Now you know so many SLP and writ petitions are only on the approval and issue of notice. So all these writs and SLPs have lost the value. Now ITB second aspect, scope of information is the main item for reopening. It shall also include a direction given by the approving panel. Imagine. Now approving while arrangement and tax avoidance and impermissible evidence, etc. Or direction of a court, reference, revision, appeal. So there is an indirect entry for reopening. Now sky is the limit, and I visualize that this is not simplification. This is open the Pandora's box, and hundreds and hundreds of cases will be reopened by assessing officer on this basis. Now, going further for reassessment. Now, suppose AO receives information today. If the AO receives information in a faceless manner under e-verification scheme, section 135A is there. There, it can be done without even 148, that you are aware. And whatever e-verification information it receives, no 148A has to be followed. In such cases, prior approval of the specified authority is mandatory before issuing the notice under section 148. Okay. Now, two situations have been added as if this was not enough. Now they have been added where such no notice is required to be issued. Even notice is not required to be issued. And prior approval is also mandatory before the issue notice. Firstly, where any directions are given by again approving panel or any impermissible evidence arrangement is done, or any direction containing an order passed by authority under appeal, reference, revision, court. Suppose tribunal passes order that not only this hawala dealer is bogus, but beneficiary must be checked. So that will come into this. So this is the expansion, not even simplification. Now limitation period to issue a show cause notice again increased from 3 to 5 years and 3 to 4 and 5 to 6 years. So again you are in a hanging sword, 3 to 4 and 5 to 6. So this is again opening the Pandora's box. Suppose somebody has destroyed the old record. What will happen to him? Okay, God only knows. Continuing further. Now limitation period to issue a notice under section 148, 3 years and 3 months, 5 years and 3 months have become now 4 years, 3 months and 6 years, 3 months. So again, 3 months time is for processing their reopening applications. Similarly, no notice under section 280, that is earlier 148 or 281, earlier 148 shall be issued within 1 year from the end of any tax year. Why? Because that time normal scrutiny can be selected. No, so there is no question of reopening, obviously. Now section 150 of ITA provides that notice under section 148 for reopening may be issued at any time for the purpose of giving effect to any finding or direction contained order passed by appeal, reference, revision by court. A new circumstances has been added where the limitation period shall not apply and given by the approving panel. Same, here no limitation. There is no change in the limitation period to complete the assessment, except that the limitation period to give effect to appeal results has been increased from 3 months to 6 months and total 9 months. So they are given 3 months more time. Now let me tell you in the income tax portal, there is a separate tab for seeking appeal effect if it is not given by the AO. Now, block assessment. This is also very, very important. As you know, that since last budget, such assessments are covered by block assessment. And ITB now provides that the order for block assessment must be passed within 12 months from the end of the month in which last authorization for a search requisition was executed or made. Finance Bill 2025, 15 days before, they changed the time limit from 12 months and complete to 12 months from the end of the quarter. It was end of the quarter in the last authorization. Here it was a month. Again, see, like Mohammed Taglak, again. Now they have removed. And again they have gone back to the old limit of 1 month from the last authorization for a search or acquisition. Back to square one. Imagine within 15 days, they're back to square one. Why these 3 months were introduced? Because this block assessment is a new concept and so many officers were not equipped with the new assessment procedure for new raids which took place. Okay. Now TDS and TCS. Now TDS and TCS, just like our ready reckoner chart, they have also given chart and table, beautifully given. So narration is reduced and they have given a chart and a table in a single clause, streamlining the compliance and reporting requirement. Now, another serious change, section 197. SSE can apply for nil or lower TDS certificate in the restricted specific payment meant under this section. Now, ITB has broadened this provision, enabling person to seek for any type of payment, not specified. So this will be a great relief. For example, section 206C9 of ITA allows the buyer license easy to apply to the assessing officer for a certificate permitting the collection of tax at a lower rate. Now, under the circumstances, they can also apply for lower TDS or zero TDS or zero TCS. Now, application may be made from some transactions. The ITB expands the scope of this provision, allowing the buyer to apply for lower TCS. This is a welcome step. Many people don't have liability and there was a lot of burden on them. Now, coming to section 68 to 69D, most popular section of the Income Tax Act. Now they have combined 69A and 69B regarding unreported money and assets. They have been combined in one clause, 104. While the provisions of 69A was dealing with unexplained investment. Now they are covered under 103 of ITB. Now section 69D, which was providing on the borrowing on a hundi. So many judgments were there that hundi should be in the vernacular language and this and that. Now that is abolished. It can be a loan, including interest thereon. So the repayment person who is paying shall be deemed as the income of the person borrowing or repaying the amount. In the ITB, the scope of this section has been expanded to all the negotiable instruments, not only hundi, whether it's a promissory note, IOU, anything. Now, section 68, on which thousands and thousands of cases are litigated. What are section 68? Unexplained cash credit. It is a share premium, share capital, loan, capital, gift, and whatnot. Now, no change has been made. It is not cash credit now. I was also wondering why it was called unexplained cash credit. That means check credit also is there. So now they have removed the word cash and only unexplained credit has remained. So it is nothing but old wine in new bottle. Unexplained cash credit has now become unexplained credit in the bill. Everything else is same. Now appeals. What are the changes in the appeals? Now 158A section of Income Tax Act allows the SSC to apply to the AO or appellate authority and state that in the other case or relevant case, same issue is going on. So they will not file the appeal and they will accept the judgment. Now in ITB, one more reference has been included. What are the cases which are covered? A question of law from the earlier assessment year in the other case, or pending in a special leave petition under Article 136, where the revenue has challenged, that is also now covered. So it's a welcome step. Repetitive appeals are avoided. Now, DRC, Dispute Resolution Committee, which was already constituted before 2 years, but not functioning at the moment. So now, board will make the rules further, who will opt for the Dispute Resolution Committee and fulfills the specified condition. Now, not specified condition, however, the ITB has removed the word specified condition. So that specified condition is gone. Only specified order has remained. Now, what are the changes in the penalties? Obviously, there are consequential changes in the penalty. Now, just see, opportunity of being heard to the SSC before levying the penalty need not be given in these 5 cases. Means ITO or officer can directly pass the order. What are the cases? Refusal to answer questions, sign the statements, furnish information, furnish return, furnish statement, allow inspection, direct penalty. Imagine. Failure to comply with the provisions of section 254, 133B, or failure to comply with 139A or 262, failure to comply with 397, failure to furnish ITR after the search. This will be a non-cognizable offense also, and penalty can be levied without any opportunity of being heard. Now, ITB proposes that the prosecution under section 476, now all 276 CCC shall be a non-cognizable offense, and it can be initiated only with the prior sanction of PCIT, CIT, JCIT, or CIT appeal. Okay. If he is convicted for one offense, then it cannot be again prosecuted. Now, liability in special cases. Mr. Khattor, how much time is left? Accordingly, I will just cut it short. How much time is left? Because some questions we have to answer now.
15. We can.
Hello, Mr. Khattor.
Yeah, Naveen. Sir, we have up till
another 20 minutes, sir.
Okay. So I'll complete fully. I will complete fully, no problem. Chalo.
And then
Now,
there'll be question answer.
Liability in special cases. What is about the ITBS retained special cases? However, new taxation regime for NPOs, I told you, has been introduced under section 164, 2 and 3, which relate to the taxation of income for charitable and religious trusts, where beneficiary shares are unknown. They have been removed. But section 161 of the ITA provides that the trustee is assessed as the representative of the income. Then the entire income is taxed at the highest, that is MMR. The trustee may not be assessed on such income at MMR if profits and gains of business are received under the trust declared by person by will exclusively for the benefit. That is there. Now, this provision is now been given for the ITP. That is okay. Now, provision has been introduced to determine the taxable portion of a beneficiary's income from a trust when only part of the trust income is chargeable under the Act. Okay. Now, important provisions of raid, search and seizure. These are very, very important. At the moment, any other books of account or documents are there. So people were asking, suppose they are in electronic form they are on mobile, they are on other media. So what will happen to that? Nothing. So they have been added. So ITB has empowered the authority to access the computer system, virtual digital space. Suppose you have got some hidden box, virtual digital space, they can access, they can break open the lock also. And similarly, they can seize the book, they can seize these also. Now, under 132(4)(a), when the statement is being recorded, there is a presumption that books of account and documents belong to you. Now that has been extended to include virtual asset. So those who are having cryptocurrency on virtual asset and digital asset, electronic content, records, communication found on computer system, anything can be asked. So now I welcome step is, now ITB has removed that additional director, additional commissioner, DDI and DC cannot initiate the search. That power was very, very vast and draconian. That has been removed. Now, similarly, expression any books of account or other document, the definition itself is changed to include electronic record and computer system. So one is good, that powers have been curtailed. Second is unfavorable because that is extending to all electronic media. Now survey. Now survey also, there also same amendment, virtual digital space and all similar amendments have been made. Another is that third thing, earlier 133A statement was not on oath. Now they will record statement on oath, so that K. Khader Khan Supreme Court judgment is indirectly here overruled. And once the statement is on oath, you cannot easily retract it. Okay. Now, similarly, whatever they can find, that is includes electronic mode. Transfer pricing. As I told you, DRP is supposed to give reasoning on each and every item of the objection taken by this. Now, ITB, the concept of yes is very important. What is happening is that arithmetical mean was to be adopted where there are two types of transfer pricing formulas. Now, if multiple prices are determined by the most appropriate method, the ALP shall be determined in a manner prescribed by the board. This will be really autocratic. Board will decide instead of mean. So here again litigations will increase, not decrease. Now miscellaneous provisions which are not touched upon the separate section. Now suppose during pendency of any proceeding, somebody creates a charge of the asset so as to transfer, give, lease, sell, whatever. And this was to defraud the revenue. The asset, meaning by land, building, plant, share, equity, FD, bank account, anything, but does not form part of stock in trade of the business of the SSE. Now ITBS amended this definition to include again virtual digital asset, all your crypto, Bitcoin, everything, whatever is lying, that can be included. Now information technology. Now omission of section 66A, meaning of the expression electronic mail and electronic mail have been defined in the section itself. Now there is no need to do this. Okay. Now I come to the powers which are missing or unfavorable. There are few. For example, merger and acquisition. These are not aligned with the current business reality. For example, restriction on setting off of the losses on amalgamation, unless the merging entity, the manufacturing company, is overly restrictive of the merger demerger definition. So some relief was expected, but it is not done. Now deemed income under or gift under section 56(2), it is a vast power. Anybody receiving anything from anybody other than relative is taxable under 56(2)(10). The very, very vast, and therefore some relief was expected, but no, it has not been done. Taxation of ESOP. This is a really a point which is bugging the mind of high-paid executives, in the sense that employees are taxed at the time of exercise rather than point of monetization. So when I exercise the right, how can I pay tax? I don't have money also. Actually, it should have been when I encash, I should be taxable. But nothing has been done. Now various TDS rates are different still rates are there. They should have made 2 or 3 rates, but this is seriously missing. Yes, now coming to the word play. For example, so many places you will find, notwithstanding anything contained in this section or other section, this has been replaced by irrespective. On this, now experts are writing essays of PhD type that this will generate further litigation. No, according to me, no. Because notwithstanding was a very, very legal term. The irrespective is a simple legal English. So according to me, it will not generate more litigation unless somebody is this. Now, faceless. 5 lakhs appeals are pending. Nothing has been done about this. So this is nothing but an old wine in a new bottle. Now, civilities expanded role in the tax administration, similar to broad procedural power, just like GST board. On real-time basis, they will issue compliance mechanism, faceless assessment, then artificial intelligence-driven scrutiny, digital tax monitoring. Tremendous powers are given to CBDT. Now, many cross references between tables. Tables are having cross references. Now, there is no option of seeking application under section 195(3). That also is missing. Now, yes, faster tax policy implementation. Earlier, government had to pass ordinance or amend the act for introducing any scheme. VDIS, IDS, PMGKY, Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, etc. Now under ITB, central government can itself introduce such schemes directly through notification, and there is no legislative delays. So there is little chance of misuse or risk also is there. Now, as I told you, financial year is not defined, but as I told you, it is your individual year which is financial year, maybe 1 day or 365 days. So then we have to go to the General Clause Act, where it means 365 days or 366 days if it is leap year. Now, some questions are asked to me. What will happen to assessment year 26-27? Because this is going to be effective from 1/4/26, and now the year which will commence from 1st April 2025 and end on 31st March 26, that will also have assessment year 26, and we will have tax year which is 26-27. Whether they will coincide? No. Website will have 2 different items: assessment year 26-27 and tax year 26-27. So no need to confuse at all. Both are entirely different. One is based on the previous year 25-26. One is based on the financial 26-27. Okay. Now IT Bill 25 also contains some proposal in the finance bill. Whether they are carried forward here, see, you are aware that finance bill 25 is not yet passed. In between, this bill has come. So whatever amendments are there in this finance bill 25, they have been continued in this ITB 25. And for example, finance bill 2025 has proposed the exclusion of advance received by a finance company or finance unit is not a deemed dividend. So bill only incorporates the same aspect. So there is no new aspect. For example, whatever amendments have been made in finance bill 2025, they have been carried out. Now, income tax bill 2020, it neatly organizes the cupboard by ironing the wrinkles and removing the old ones. There are no new clothes as expected, and with this the small joke, people are asking, Madam Finance Minister, you have given income tax relief. Now, what you want? People are saying we want income. So now issues for I always complete my speech before time. 6:30 was the deadline. And Mr. Convener, if any questions are
Much
there from the
much
participants,
appreciated,
kindly
sir.
let me know. Let me know one by one. I will try to answer.
Okay.
If there are no questions, there are two meanings. Either everything is understood fully or everything is bumper.
Navinji, can you please coordinate regarding the
Naveen, you have
questions?
any questions?
Yeah, as of now, I haven't received any questions on the chat box. I'll
Because
put
most
the
of the
forum
questions have been fully
online. If anybody wants
incorporated.
to question, kindly raise your hand. I'll ask their name. They can unmute themselves and ask the question directly.
Your voice is not clear. I'm not able to hear.
Uh,
If there are no questions, we can just complete.
as of now, there is no questions on the chat box, sir, and we have not received any
Okay.
questions on the email.
What I am suggesting, I'll be giving this PowerPoint to you people. Convener, you can distribute to the participant. So there is no need to
Okay.
take photographs or something like that.
Okay.
So
okay.
Sir, we are putting on the YouTube also. So it is also available on YouTube also.
Let me wind up my session. Big thank you.
Thank you,
very much for the
Mr.
wonderful
Shah.
presentation, sir.
I request Girdhari ji, our president, to please offer vote of thanks to this wonderful, illustrious presentation from our guest speaker, C.A. Shah.
थैंक्स हाँ सर फॉर वंडरफुल प्रेजेंटेशन गागर में सागर डाल दिया आपने एक एक मिनट में सब चीजें कवर की है इट इज अ वाइड सब्जेक्ट नीड मोर इंटरप्रिटेशन so people are just it is a first step we will go on and organize such seminars in the future also to understand the law sir thank you sir
My last line for the day. Life itself is like income tax bill. Continuously go on simplifying instead of complicating. Thank you very much and see you sometime.
Thank you,
sir
sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you sir
Should I end the meeting?
yeah we can conclude the meeting